Now, the truth about what you experience, um, there is this law of attraction people have been kind of looking at, and we're not really quite understanding it. But this is a really, really hard pill to swallow. It was a hard pill for me to swallow because I was experiencing a great deal of abuse from my parents. I was beaten, and in my marriage was abusive. Um, the situation where I'm at right now, you really have to look at the reality that you are the one that's creating everything that you experience. And that's a hard pill to swallow. I did not want to say that I created these bad experiences. It was them. But I also noticed in my life that if I tried controlling other people, that gave me no power. I gained more power when I learned that I was the one that was in control. So if you look at life from the perspective that, okay, I'm the one creating it, I'm the one that's attracting this, then that makes you look at yourself and say, what is it you're doing to attract all of this stuff? And that's what I had to do. And just using my experiences, um, being beaten when I was 3 and paying attention to the questions I was asking and the things that I was observing, I really wanted to understand what was going on in the world. I wanted to know why people were doing the things they were doing. And, the best way of doing that is through experience. So naturally, the universe responded to, we're going to give you this experience, and then you're going to understand without doubt why people are doing the things that they're doing. So, from a soul basis, that's why I experienced everything that was happening to me. I remember when I was 5 years old, I was looking up at the clouds trying to figure out, why are they blue? Um, I knew the scientific reason. I, I knew all of that at the age of 5, but the question behind that question was, but why blue? And I could see it was because we all together agree and have a belief of what blue is and that the sky should be blue. So I always looked at life from a very, very different perspective. So that's where, really try and understand this law of attraction. Really try and understand that it's you that is creating the experiences that you have. And once you can swallow that pill, once you can reflect on yourself, why is it I want to experience this? And you use that intuition from the other tape, how you can talk to God, then try and figure out why is it you're experiencing all of this and gain some power. Because if you can attract the bad things, you can also turn it around and attract the good things. And for the most part, it all is in your belief systems. First, look at every single thing you do, you are choosing. You Every minute of the day, you make a choice. And if you change the way you choose things, you will change the direction and path that you experience. And this, to a great extent, has been we didn't believe that we had power to change what we think and how we behave, because a lot of it is controlled through your DNA. And I've repeated again, your DNA is nothing but a thought that makes chemicals that you experience the thought and then put text to. And when you're being raised, you also see how your family believes in stuff. So you are recreating the same experience throughout your whole genealogy through their belief systems. Every thought, when you have a thought, you attach what beliefs you have, which creates the reactions you have. And a lot of these form bad habits. And these bad habits create illnesses. This is how a lot of illnesses are cured, is you look at the causes that creates the illness, And you look at, when did it first start? When did I start developing this belief system that created these actions that I have? And then look at it and say, does this make any sense? And if we look at our history and time, a lot of us have experienced war, and a lot, like through our genealogy, and a lot of us experienced depression. So what we experienced in war, I mean, when they come back, when a soldier comes back, you develop so many belief systems. You are filled with rage and anger and hate, and then you develop your life experiences based on your experiences that you had from war. Now, the Depression caused a lot of the way our economic systems are functioning right now. If you don't have food, if you're living in poverty, then the main goal is to, I'm never going to let this happen again. I'm going to make sure I have a bank account. I'm going to make sure that I make a lot of money. And that's where the greed started to get developed, is from our lack of having this prosperity in our lives. We went to the other extreme to make sure that that didn't happen again. And that was, you know, I've even experienced that with my parents. They went through the Depression and they didn't have things, so they had a lot of belief systems, a lot of rules. My father always taught me that I will be nobody, I will be nothing. There's nothing good about me unless I gain an education and was successful in the corporate world. And to me, that just didn't make any sense. That why is a father telling their child that they're nothing, they will mean nothing unless they have money? To me, from a child's perspective, it's like, what about family? What about love? What about having fun with each other? And there was zero effort in my family experience to have joy and fun. And to me, that was the meaning of life. But from my father's perspective, no, it was more important to work, work, work real hard. Nothing will happen unless you're working hard. And all of those belief systems came from his belief from when he experienced the Depression. And a lot of people in the Depression start hoarding. I know I was a foster mother, and this child would hide food under his bed. And the mindset is I need to have food because, you know, I've experienced days without food. So when there is food, I'll take it off the plate and save it for another day. And that's kind of what we do. There's so many billionaires out in the world that they feel like they need to make more and more money. And it's like, what are you going to do with all of that money? Isn't that kind of insane? You know, what is the point in having a big, large bank account that you know you could never spend in one lifetime? You know, to me, it just doesn't make any sense. And I watch people like Deepak Chopra, who, you know, says he's consciously aware, but yet he's making a lot of money and he's not really spending any of his money, and he's making no apologies for all of the money that he makes. And yet, you know, if we only had, and I'll use, just paraphrasing, if there was only $100,000 in the world economy, in what's real money, there was only 100,000 that was to be divided by everybody on the planet. Well, if he was really good at earning money, and he ended up making 90,000 of it and keeping it in his bank account, what's it doing to the world economy where everybody else is living off of just the 10,000? So from my perspective, in an economic system, it's a system that should be shared and not necessarily work towards earning as much money as you possibly can, but earning what you deserve to earn within the global picture. Share. Don't charge as much as you do, or give out and support somebody else's good idea. Teach a man how to fish so he can fish, but I also provide him the ability to catch a fish. If all of the money is in your pocket, it's not doing anybody any good. It's kind of insane thinking that started off from a depression experience. So there you have it. How you attract what you experience, change what you believe to be true, track down where you form these beliefs, and ask yourself, is this really what I want to believe in? And once you get the power, you can change it.